In the wake of the Douglas High School massacre, President Trump today reached back to the last mass shooting, Las Vegas, announcing that he will seek a ban on so-called bump stock that allowed the shooter there to fire off so many rounds so quickly.
Just a few moments ago, I signed a memorandum directing the Attorney General to propose regulations to ban all devices that turn legal weapons into machine guns. I expect that these critical regulations will be finalized, Jeff, very soon.
As he recognized today the valor of safety officers who responded to yet another mass shooting, San Bernardino in 2015, the president praised the heroism of those who sacrificed their lives last week.
In the aftermath of this evil massacre, our spirits have been lifted by the accounts of bravery at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, who have shown us that the forces of love and courage are always stronger than the forces of evil and hate.
Douglas High School is the first mass shooting at a school since President Trump took office. Today he pledged to take steps he said would actually make a difference.
The key in all of these efforts, as I said in my remarks the day after the shooting, is that we cannot merely take actions that make us feel like we are making a difference. We must actually make a difference.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Donald Trump considering some gun control measures. Now, when I first heard about this, I knew that he would be kind of like striking the deal. I've talked about this in many videos about how Trump is really kind of a centrist politically, not really a conservative, definitely not a liberal, but his brash and bravado, the way he behaves, makes those that are on the left think that he's some kind of far-right Hitler, demon, beast, or what have you. That's just not the case. He's really kind of a middle-of-the-road kind of guy. And I thought the same way during the actual election process when he talked about the transgender bathroom kerfuffle. I'm somebody that thinks that you should not have any men in the bathroom with women. I don't care if they call themselves women right now. That's fine. If you have Bruce Jenner, who wants to call himself Caitlyn, that's his business. I don't care nothing about that. But at the end of the day, biology is biology. It's XX or it's XY. And I don't think that you should have any biological men in the bathroom with women. If I had daughters, I would not feel safe. I definitely wouldn't want anybody associated with me that's female that I have some kind of responsibility of protecting to be in the bathroom with a male. That just wouldn't go right. But I digress. My point is that he is more of a center down the road kind of guy. And I think this article, this news story kind of underlines that point. You see the headline over my left hand shoulder. It says Trump considers raising purchase age for certain firearms amid gun control talk. And he also wants to possibly ban bump stocks. We'll talk about bump stocks a little bit later in this article. And we are on Fox News. And the article reads, President Trump is signaling an openness to the idea of raising the minimum age for purchasing certain firearms in the wake of last week's school shooting in Parkland, Florida, where a 19-year-old is accused of killing 17 teachers and students with an AR-15 rifle. Now, the whole thing with the AR-15, I mean, that's just a dead horse. I don't want to beat too much anymore, but it's just one brand of rifle. It does not mean automatic rifle. It does not mean killing machine. It is not a fully automatic weapon. It is a semi-automatic rifle that is the same as many other rifles. The AR-15 is a brand name. The AR stands for Armalite. It's a brand name and that's it. Just like Johnson & Johnson, toothpaste, deodorant, whatever. That's pretty much what it is, but we're going to move on. A White House source told Fox News that Trump is open to a number of measures to address mass shootings, including supporting a raise in the minimum age for owning certain firearms, a proposal that could face resistance from gun rights groups like the National Rifle Association. There are certain ages that you have to be to buy a gun. I think it's 18 to buy most guns. In Virginia, there's no age to buy most rifles. As far as I know, if I'm wrong about that, let me know in the box. But generally, you're talking about 18 years old to buy most guns legally. Illegally, of course, a whole different story, but we won't even get into that right now. According to the Giffords Law Center, which tracks gun laws and advocates for more restrictions, licensed firearm dealers under federal law cannot sell handguns to people under 21. Okay. Interesting. And cannot sell long guns to people under 18. Okay. Some state laws already impose stricter minimum age requirements. It's not clear if Trump would seek changes to federal laws, the source said, or if he would advocate for a change at the state level. The Washington Post reported that Trump is considering arguments that the minimum age for buying any semi-automatic weapon should be raised from 18 to 21. Axios also reported that Trump has been telling associates that he doesn't think high school kids should be able to buy guns. During Tuesday's White House briefing, Press Secretary Sarah Sanders was asked about raising the age for buying AR-15s, and she said, "I think that's certainly something that's on the table for us to discuss and that we expect to come up over the next couple of weeks." She said the administration is working to determine what can be done at the federal level. Quote, "I know there are currently laws in place in certain states that restrict that," she said. "In terms of whether or not we make that federal policy, that hasn't yet been determined." Now, there's a link right there that says Trump urges ban on bump stocks. But to get to what he was saying here, or what he has been alleged of saying here, I believe he probably said that, probably talking about high school kids shouldn't be able to buy guns. See, Trump is really like a business Democrat, not really a conservative. A conservative that's like, a true blue stomp down, which is like a dying breed. But I digress. A true blue stomp down conservative would say, let's not change any of the gun laws. We need more guns to protect ourselves. There's plenty of evidence that says when you are armed, you're better able to protect yourself. But I'll probably put that in the box. I want to get into this video right here. But a lot of liberal people, a lot of Democrats, they don't really understand gun culture. I'm not really sure if Trump grew up around guns. He grew up in New York, rich family. People that grow up in rural areas, they understand guns a little bit more intimately. So I understand where Trump was coming from with that, although I disagree. I think that this is him just being a center of the road kind of guy, like I've always said. The NRA has not yet publicly commented on the trial balloon, but the discussion could be a test for Trump's loyal base, as many of his supporters generally oppose new restrictions that would affect law-abiding gun owners. Yet Trump has flouted traditional conservative positions in the past and could be testing whether he could sway certain wings of the party. I don't think you're really going to change much of the party the way it is. They pretty much stomp down, going to do what they want to do. But Trump has always been, throughout this entire process, a maverick, somebody that doesn't really go by the rules of what has been set before him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did something like this. I wouldn't agree with it, but like I said, I would not be surprised. And the article continues, at the same time, he may be wary of going too far. The talks come as the NRA Executive Vice President Wayne LaPierre is expected to address conservative activists at the annual Conservative Political Action Conference outside Washington next week. What's that, CPAC? Wow, that's coming up this week? Okay. Shout out to CPAC. Trump, who was backed by the NRA during the 2016 election, has expressed support for the Second Amendment and said he's against reflexive gun control measures that wouldn't stop tragedies. But since last week's shooting, the president has begun to embrace new gun restrictions. Trump on Tuesday directed Attorney General Jeff Sessions to craft new regulations to ban firearm modifiers, including the bump stock used in the Las Vegas massacre. And you saw that in the video I played before I started talking in this one. The whole thing with the bump stocks, that's kind of an olive branch to the gun control people, because that's not really a big thing. It's just like an accessory on a gun that really is not that effective. It's kind of a pain for people to use. It's like a little toy to put on your gun. That's not going to help you that much. And it's not really a commonly used thing. So if some people that are gun control people see that happen, they may think, okay, Trump is being bipartisan. He may get some points from them. But at the end of the day, the average pro-gun person would not really be affected by that one way or the other. Many of us support that. They'll say, okay, we'll give you a little bit there, because some would say that the bump stock makes your semi-automatic weapon into an automatic weapon, but that's not really what it does. What it does is it kind of just like forces your finger up against the trigger to pull it faster, but it's not making it fully automatic. Fully automatic weapon is like you just push, you hold the trigger, you push it, you hold it, and the bullets just spray out. That is basically a machine gun. You cannot get one of those. You may be able to get something close to that, but you got to jump through all kind of hoops. You got to talk to the federal government. You got to have 5 figures in money. It's not a commonly used thing or a commonly obtained thing or a commonly owned thing as of right now. I think there's only 175,000 fully autos in the United States right now, and they've not been produced for civilians in 1986. So you're not really going to be able to get one at the end of the day. A memo released by the White House on Tuesday directs the DOJ to propose a rule, quote, banning all devices that turn legal weapons into machine guns, unquote. I mean, there's already certain things that you could put on your weapon that may simulate a machine gun, and most of them are already illegal. I think what Trump was talking about is determining whether the bump stock falls into that category or not. Is it legal? Is it illegal? Let's review the legality of the actual accessory. Sanders said the White House hasn't, quote, closed the door any front, unquote, when it comes to trying to stop mass shootings, and said Trump supports efforts to improve the federal background system. Trump on Tuesday tweeted, quote, whether we are Republican or Democrat, we must now focus on strengthening background checks. I'm not really a big fan of that at all. And you see the tweets right over my left-hand shoulder here. The article continues. The president on Wednesday is hosting parents, teachers, and students at the White House to discuss efforts to ensure safety at schools. Among those attending will be members of the Parkland community and those affected by the Sandy Hook and Columbine school shootings, the White House said. All right, that is the article there. I mean, when you're talking about, I just want to touch that last point right there. You're talking about school safety. There was a situation happened in Philadelphia, in the ghetto, North Philly, at an all-black school. I think it's called the Frederick Douglass Academy. It's a charter school. There was a boy that tried to get into the actual school with a pistol. This was caught on camera, HD video, the whole nine. But once he got to the door, first of all, the door appeared to be reinforced steel, big door, heavy door with like not bars, but like a gate. So you could barely, the bars would be kind of like have a big space in between them. You may be able to shoot through that. You may be able to try to pull the bars off or something. But this was like a steel mesh, thick steel mesh over the window of the door on both of the doors. So this is a very secure door. The boy tried to get in, could not get in. He just walked away. We need more stuff like that at schools nationwide. Metal detectors, the wands, the actual little things you got bought from like at the airport, the whole nine. I mean, we had that in school. Matter of fact, we had that in middle school. So I don't really see the big deal. Some would say, oh, well, you shouldn't have to have that. School's not a prison. But hey, times have changed, and when times change, you must change as well. You can't just stay stagnant and in the past, you be left in the past, and you're going to have more of these school shootings, if not school shootings, just dangerous things that happen at school. People getting kidnapped from their classes, hostage situations, the whole 9 yards. You don't want to have that at your school system, nor anywhere else. We need to have tighter security. I won't even go down that whole rabbit hole about solutions to school shootings. I'll put that in the box below. I've already done a video about that, so I'm gonna go ahead and digress. My whole point is that I think Trump here, as I close, is just being bipartisan in this. He wants to give a little something to get a little something back. You got everybody talking about gun control, gun control, gun control. It's like, okay, we'll give you the bump stocks. We may even raise the age of being able to purchase a gun, but that's pretty much it. I don't know what else you can do. Talking about banning semi-automatic weapons, most guns are semi-automatic because all that it means for a gun to be semi-automatic is that the ammunition loads automatically. So when you put in the magazine of a regular handgun with a rack slide and you keep shooting, that the ammunition loads into the chamber, into the barrel to the chamber automatically. That's what that means. Fully automatic is when you hold the trigger. After you push it, bullets just spray out. That kind of gun is not what you see on the street. And if you do see it on the street, it was stolen from somebody in the military or something like that. That's not what we sell in the stores. That's not what's produced in the USA for civilians. But at the end of the day, as I close, I want to get your viewpoint on it because I was seeing some mixed reactions on this. Some pro-gun people say that it's a good thing that he's eliminating the bump stocks. They say it's not needed. It's just a distraction or whatever the case may be. Some say that he's just trying to cave in to the left. Some say that he's not conservative anymore. People that don't really support Trump, they think that we on the right are now going to disavow him because of the gun control measures. I'm not going to disavow Trump because of one thing I disagree with him on. I don't think it's really that serious. We can agree to disagree. We can still get things done in different ways outside of having just this one thing we always agree on. But at the end of the day, as I close, I don't think the bump stocks are really that serious. I'm not a big fan of raising the age to be able to buy a gun because all you're really doing is just impacting just regular civilians, regular citizens that want to be able to go out there and protect themselves, especially college kids. I mean, if you can concealed carry on campus, that'll stop a lot of these shootings, maybe even in your dorm room. There's been episodes of home invasions in college campuses on a dorm room. I think it was a security guard at ODU that raped a student in her dorm room. A security guard, yes, I did say that. A security guard at the dorm raped a student in her dorm. So maybe we need to have guns on campus. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.